Well, hello, guys and gals, and welcome back to another edition of Scrap Mechanic with me, your old buddy, Mr. Moose. So, today, it's been a while since I've done a Scrap Mechanic video, and today I wanted to go over a couple of changes that have been made in Scrap Mechanic, as well as show you what I've been working on and talk a little bit about some issues I've been having with the game and why I haven't been doing any recordings with it. Basically, the reason I haven't done any recordings was I've been hoping for a major patch with the game of some sort that might fix some physics issues I've been having in the game. One thing I've had is I build something kind of big, and then if I try to build anything else around it, my frame rates just go in the tank, and I can't figure out why it is. People online have been talking about issues with the suspension. If you use too much suspension on a vehicle, that loads up and that causes issues. Some people have been talking about memory leaks in the game and other things of that nature. And so I came in here, I built this cool project that I had going, and I thought, this is going to be awesome. I can't wait to show it off. It's been nothing but a headache for me, though, ever since I built it. It just all of a sudden went bad on me. I'm going to show it to you guys today. Unfortunately, it's not going to be as beautiful and wonderful as it was, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. Anyways, so here's a little truck that I've been working on. It's not what I'm talking about project-wise, but it's my little Jurassic Park or a little Jeep-looking vehicle here. Just a different variation. As you can see, I've taken the suspension completely off of it. And instead of using suspension, I'm just using some pipe. And if I raise it all the way up for you guys, I'm just using pipe and elbows to do my suspension right now. And it seems to be doing pretty good for me. And I would rather be using the suspension. But again, on this particular project, this particular build, I've had to get rid of all the suspension because I hope that would fix my problem. But again, as you can probably see, everything's not really fluid. And I'm fighting some issues with frame rate. So it's not the best thing. But this was too cool of a build that I did not to show it to you guys. So I'm going to show it to you guys, but I wish it had been better. I had a lot bigger plans for this. So we're going to load up in our little Jeep here, and we're going to take a little trip. So what's new in the game? They did come out with a new release. They added some more build items into the game. One of the things they built was a horn that you can actually put on your vehicle, which I haven't put it on this one yet. Ooh, whoa. As you can see, my frame rates are terrible right now on this. And as we head on over and off in the distance, you can start to see what I've been working on. I've been working on a killer little house. I mean, every scrap mechanic needs a homestead, right? So that was the first thing I thought I would build, was a nice little house to live in. And so yeah, that's what I was working on. And it has cost me more headaches and nightmares frame rate wise than anything in the game. So I'll show you what's up here. I'm just going to pull over here and I'll see if I can get out of my vehicle. Now, one thing I've learned, and a lot of people have been talking about, is it's not always advisable to put a canopy over your little dude's head. Number one, his head's kind of sticking through it. But number two is when you get ready to dismount, you don't always get out of the vehicle. So it's not always advisable to put a canopy over your head. But that time I managed to jump right through it and didn't have any issues. So that was pretty good. The other thing I've learned is when you do have issues with frame rates, and like I'm having right now, sometimes it helps to pick one vehicle up and get it on a jack stand, and that will help out a little bit and give you a little bit of frame rate. But I didn't want to necessarily. Usually, it's best to do your thing with the most mass, but I don't want to lift my house up off the ground because then I can't get in it, and I want to show you guys all the little cool stuff on my house. So I've got some plants on the side over here. Let's get rid of all that. Got some plants on the side over here. Little brick foundation going around there. Brick planter in the front. Got a garage here on the side. Some windows. And then as we come inside, I got a button here on the front that opens up the front door. I was going to put a more complex front door on this where you could open and close it from the inside and outside. But again, the frame rates on this have just kind of made me stop building on this project, and I'm going to end up scrapping the entire thing. But I thought I'd shoot a little video and show you what you can sort of do in the game. So let's go ahead. We'll hit the button. We'll go inside. And we'll come on into my house. And when you come in, the first part of the home is the living room. Let me go ahead and zoom back in here to first person so you guys can see a little bit more. So I made a little living room here, and I used some ductwork and stuff to make some couches here. So we've got plenty of seating here. No TV. It would have been nice to see like a television set of some sort that you could put in the home, but they do have a radio, so you got a little radio here that you can use. Oh, wow, you can actually turn it on and off. Over here, I built a little kitchen. You see a little grass sitting through my floor. That's not good. Built a little kitchen over here. I used some steel beams and then the tile block pieces to build a kitchen, and then I recessed a sink into it. So, and of course, put the window right there next to the sink so you can look out while you're washing whatever. Of course, there's no dishes or anything, so I guess it's really just a hand sink. Some boxes of food that come stock in the game. They're enormously big, though. Let's see. What else we got? Over here, we got our bathroom. When I originally built the bathroom here, there was no toilet in the game. So I made a tile bathroom, and then I had made a big tile throne that you sit on. But they've since added a toilet into the game in the last patch. So now you actually have a toilet you can sit on. They added a few more building items in the last patch as well. So some of the things that I've noticed that are new: the throne is new, the horn is new for the truck, for your vehicle. You can put a little horn on there and go beep beep toot toot. What else is new? It seems like there's a few more boxes maybe, and then a couple of new signs, and it seems like there's a couple of new potted plants. Which is all right. Oh, and they added a mattress in. I didn't realize that. Oh, we can put a mattress on our bed. So we got a sink in here, toilet paper, made a little toilet paper dispenser with a couple of pipes there, angle pipes. Come out of here, and this is one of the pieces I'm really proud of, or really love about my little house. I built a garage for my vehicle, and I had all these great plans to park my vehicle in my garage. If I hit the button, the garage actually works. The door comes up and goes into place. You could actually drive the truck in here. But if I do, it causes all kinds of problems with physics. So, yeah, close the garage door, and that's in there. If I pull the vehicle actually in here and then try to use this, the arm on the door freaks out and it just slams around and does all kinds of weird things. Then the physics on it breaks. So it's unfortunately, but that's where I lose my frame rate and everything else like that. So I can't bring the vehicle in here, but it does work. So that is controlled by this controller up here. If I hit it, you'll see I have two bearings on that door. One is up by the door and the other is on the wall. The first one, which is on the door, is the first one that tilts. It makes the door tilt back 90 degrees. And then the bearing on the wall actually starts rotating the whole thing up 90 degrees. As it's doing it, it rotates the door back counterclockwise 90 degrees so that as the door comes up, it ends up flush with the roof line. So if I tried to raise it straight up from here, the top of the door obviously would knock into the floor. So I had to make it where up here you have a pivot point right here in this elbow. And that allows me to pivot the door back just a little bit. And then as it starts to raise up, I just tilt it back the other way. So if you watch it, how it actually works now, you'll see that when I hit the button, again, it sort of turns, it's decided to break. There it is. It freaked out. Again, these are the little issues I've had in the game that drive me nuts. So, anyways, so that's the downstairs of the house. And there's the controller on the wall that controls the front door. And then we come up here, up to the second floor. Let me zoom in a little bit and into first person. and our frame rates are just taking a dump here. If we come in here, this is the master bedroom that I was working on. And now that we have a mattress, let's see if we can put the mattress on the bed. I don't have no idea how big the mattress is. Oh, it's teeny tiny. Oh, well, that really wouldn't fit on our big old bed that we were making. I'd have to put like 2 of them on there. Let's see what the mattress looks like, because I haven't seen one. Oh, well, isn't that cute? All flowery. Huh. Yeah, well, anyways, now that I know it's in there, in the next version of this, I can actually do a bed. Let me get rid of that so it's not taking up that slot. I like to have an empty slot so I don't have things showing up while I'm working. Sometimes it's nice just to have a blank space where you got no tools or anything else like that, so you can see what you got going on. But yeah, I put a little crate over here for like a nightstand. I got another one on the other side. You can see I got a little flower pot on there. A couple down here to be like a trunk or a sitting stool or something. And then I made myself oh no, I bumped into my joystick and deleted something. Up here is my, this is my closet that I had built. Maybe a little ambitious height-wise. I don't know. Maybe that's about right. Yeah. Got my little bar in there. So if I had some coat hangers or something, I could hang some clothes. And then I had more before I started having frame rate issues. I had this whole area. I built my roof out of tile. I'm using the white tile to do the roof because it didn't have anything that looked like asphalt to do like a shingle roof or something. So I went with a tile roof. Got a couple of lights there. I made a light fixture here as well for this room, sort of like a chandelier type thing. And the rest of the space is here. So, yeah, had a lot I could deal with. And I was, working on this thing, gonna make it all kind of cool and everything, homey and everything like that. So my dude would have a nice little home to live out of. And then all of a sudden my frame rates tanked and I started having a lot of problems with it. Maybe there's too many items on it or what, but then again, I've watched other people's videos where they've had far more items on the ground, maybe just not as in a combined space. And maybe that's what's causing the issues. I don't know. But the frame rates just take a tank. So my buddy Dan helped me out with shooting some video, because there's one little special thing about this house. And I'm going to show that to you real quick here. Going to make a little cut in the video. And Dan jumped online with me in multiplayer. And Dan took over. The house has some little special controls that I haven't shown you guys yet. And Dan's going to take over the helm and kind of show them to you. First thing he's going to do is, he's going to make a little hole in the roof. And then Dan will pop out of the roof. And then once Dan is popped up, Dan will be able to hit a third button that is on his controller, and voila, the house is now mobile. See, that's the cool thing about this house that I was going for, was not only could the scrap mechanic have a homestead, he could have a mobile homestead that could go anywhere, and he could just drive it around like a vehicle. That was what was great. My first rendition of this, as I started working on it, you could pull the car in, park it in the garage, and you could take the car and the house wherever you wanted it to go. But unfortunately, again, I had the whole frame rate issue that has collapsed it. And so it's, unfortunately, it doesn't work. So back here in front of the house, let's run inside and I'll show you what I did that makes it possible for this thing to transform as it does and make a cool little transforming house. So if we come upstairs, and there's a reason I didn't run over here and show you all this over here, hidden behind the little potted plant here in the corner is a little switch. And if we hit it, this wall opens up to reveal a hidden room. Nice, right? Inside the hidden room, you will see there is a nifty little contraption here that is a pipe that has a few bearings on it. It has a bearing up here, one here, and another one here. that allow this whole thing to open up when you hit a button. That is tied to the seat. The seat, as you can see, is also on another system. It's got a bearing here that allows this to rotate. There's two bearings here. There's one on the seat, one on an elbow underneath the seat, and then another bearing right here and a bearing in the floor. There's 4 bearings total in this entire contraption. If I bring up the little gizmo here that shows you the connections, you'll see 1, 2, 3, 4. That allows the chair to pivot, on its horizontal, and then it also allows the entire chair to pivot up and down. And then this can pivot across the floor as well as up and down as well. And then you can see the connections as well on the roof contraption that opens up. You'll see there's a bearing here, one here, and one up there. The whole thing is mounted into this section of the roof that pulls away whenever, and that's all tied up into one of the control boxes up here. There are 3 control boxes here. Let's see. One of them controls the roof. The second one controls the seat movement, and the third one controls the vehicle itself. As you can see, all the connection to the motors, which are down hidden between the garage and the bathroom. And then you can see all the bearings and everything that are on the wheels. I'll show you all that in just a second. So if we put away this, we jump into the seat. From this point, you can actually see, I'll kind of set the camera up. I hit button 1 on my keyboard, and that's going to open up the roof line. It makes the whole thing fold in. Button 2 is what actually makes my little dude slide into place. And then he pops up through the opening in the roof line. And he freaks out because of the physics being broken, because, I don't know, it's just freaking out because it's too much mass on the ground. As soon as the house comes up off the ground, my frame rate issues go away. So you would think it would be otherwise. You would think it would be as soon as it went onto the tires that it would mess everything up. But apparently once I hit this button, that's when it all transforms and the whole house raises up off the ground. And now my frame rate issues have gone away, and the whole house will move, and I can steer it and drive it wherever I want to go with it. So yeah, dude could go all around the map, go wherever he wants. And again, the original idea was to be able to put the vehicle inside of it as well and drive the vehicle around with him, and just go wherever. And yeah, but that failed when I started having some issues with the frame rates. So anyways, it was a fun build. I had a great time figuring out all of the different angles and stuff like that, and had every intentions to do a pretty cool video on how I did everything, but it just kind of fell apart. So here I've got another piece here, and I'll bring out the little gun. This has got 3 bearings in it here. When this is closed, basically all of this rotates down to where it's in a sort of a U shape. And then when that's activated, the bearings twist up and push that up into the air. So it makes some clearance for the tires to come out. That's also what conceals and, makes it where you don't see the tires. And I went with 4 different sets of 2 to weight distribution. I tried it once building it with just one set, one tire on each corner, and wow, that was a nightmare. I tried building a track, that didn't quite work. I had it on suspension originally. The suspension thing became a nightmare. That's where I learned about all the suspension problems. So again, I'm using the metal pipe here to make my my axles or whatever. And you can see there's a bearing there for steering. There's a bearing on the inside that allows all that to collapse when the house folds up. And then the bearing down here for the drive that goes to the motors. And then all of this is controlled by 2 boxes over here. There's a box here that controls the lifting of this piece here. And then there's a box here that controls the folding up of the legs. And if I get rid of this, pretty neat little contraption I have right here. I'm going to have to do a build where I show you guys how to do some of this stuff. But there's a bearing right here on this wooden block that has a sensor. And basically what happens is I have that sensor where when this button is initiated, it originally makes this piece fold up, and it makes that sensor rotate clockwise where it's blocked by that piece of wood, and that's what triggers this panel to unfold the wheels. So I thought that was a pretty neat little idea to do that. And again, I'll have to do all this in a build one day and show. Well, now that I've actually shown you guys the house, and I don't really care that much about it anymore because, well, you know, it's pretty much done for. I'm gonna have to destroy it after this. If I hit the button, you'll see that piece of wood moved out of the way, and now I've got the sensor right here. So that sensor is what is actually connected to this lower box. You see the red line that goes to that lower box. That's what actually turns that box on and off, is that sensor. And so what happens is when I click this button, this piece folds up. As you can see how that is folded in there real quick. If I look down at it, you'll see how that elbow is. When I click the button, hit E, see how that pushes up that piece. That block swings down in front of the sensor, which tells that box to open up, and that's what makes the whole house raise up and down. So again, I'll click. If I click it, the wooden block moves out, opens up the sensor's vision, so it's not being blocked, and the whole thing works, and all the wheels are all folded up nicely on the inside. So yeah, I hit it again. The whole thing folds up nicely. So yeah, that's a little project I've been playing around and messing with. It took me a while to get all the angles right, all the twist and everything else like that. It was fun doing, and I completely intended on like getting it done and then messing around with it and playing around, having some fun with it. But the frame rate issues just, you know, it became a nightmare to deal with. If I, there's a spot I can get right here. You know what? I have to do this. If I come over here and I drop the house back down, and all of a sudden my frame rates take a hit, and I'm like hardly walking around now. But I can come back over here. I can just reach that, so I can jump up into it. Hit 3 again. I can't hardly. I wish I could get further out so I could actually watch the house fold and unfold. That's the reason I had to get Dan in here to help me do that little bit of video. But yeah, it's just kind of cool. It was a neat little concept to play around with. The theory being that you could take it wherever you wanted to go. So it has its limitations, but it's pretty cool. So anyways, that's what I've been messing around with. I thought I'd show you guys that. But I'm going to get into doing some more videos here on Scrap Mechanic in the near future, or this week. I'll probably do some for you guys. But I couldn't let this build go to waste. It was too fun. It's too cool and too comical. When I first brought Dan and Alex in and showed them to it, they all got a big kick out of it. It was just really funny. I just love the fact that, you know, it collapses down and then you can... Let me put the house back up. As long as it's up on its wheels, all the rest of it performs so much better. So yeah, if we come up here, we hit 1. See how much smoother that works when the house is picked up off of the ground versus when it was sitting on the ground. He still freaks out right there at the end, but it's a nice, somewhat fluid movement versus if I, put him back in. So again, he backs out, goes back into the room, and then I close it back up. And you can't tell that it's there. So let me put the house back down on the ground and you'll see the difference. Now with the house sitting on the ground, you'll notice it's just not as fluid of a movement. And he freaks out really bad, you know, coming back out through the hole. It just doesn't work out as well. So I'm not really sure why. You would think with the house sitting flat on the ground that it would be better than it actually sitting up on the wheels. You would think the wheels would actually cause more of an issue with the physics engine and cause the frame rates to go in the tank versus um, versus the other way around. So I don't know. I was a little bummed out with it, but I had a good time. And again, you kind of got to crouch to get out of there. It was a fun build. It was pretty cool seeing what you could think up, and that's the whole thing about this game that makes it really cool. It's like, what can you think up, and can you think of how to do it using the materials that are a part of the game, you know? And when you can, it's just really cool, and you see how you do some stuff. So, like I said, I'll be doing some more scrap mechanic. I'll do an actual build on some things this week, and we'll play a little bit around with it. But I thought I'd show you what I've been up to, what I've been messing around with, and anyways, we'll get back into this game a little bit and play, because I know a lot of you guys have been wanting to see some stuff. I thought I'd explain why I really hadn't been playing it, and I was really hoping with this last update that there would be more than a toilet and a horn in it. I was really hoping that whatever was causing that memory leak or those issues would get fixed, and that this would actually work, so I could actually showcase it. But I think I'm just going to end up deleting this entire game or game save that this is on, which I hate to get rid of it. I might try to do it all over again and see if maybe something went corrupt in this particular game save. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Look at what you can do and some of the fun you can have with Scrap Mechanic. And we'll do an actual build later on this week. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. And as always, if you haven't subscribed to the video, please do it. I do videos each and every day. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for your support. And as always, stay safe. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.